So this is Minneapolis Parkway in Minneapolis. Probably one of my favorite rides in the city. I've probably ridden this ride many thousands of times, believe it or not. I used to work on that end of town, or actually I lived on that end of town. I worked behind me, and I rode this all the time to get to work, often on my BMX bike. But yeah. Hello, welcome to my channel. I am on my state all road going on a cruise. I did do some updates to this bike. I've talked about the handlebars. I went with a wider bar, a salsa bar, but the bigger update I just recently did, talk about that in a second, but I upgraded to SRAM rival derailleur, SRAM cassette, SRAM chain, so I have, you know, at least a full SRAM drivetrain back there. I like the crank so far, so I'm gonna leave that, and the chain ring is nice, but this shifts a lot better. The derailleur doesn't have, it's not as loose, it's really tight and snug. That state all-road one would wobble a lot, and so it just doesn't give you as crisp a shifting when it's loose like that. So when we talk about quality and why, like name brand stuff like SRAM and Shimano and stuff, what makes it so good is they have really tight tolerances, good bearings, things like that, versus some of this other stuff, which is decent, it's good, but it just isn't that fine quality, like crisp shifting and stuff. So like when I shift this, it just goes bang, bang, bang right into the gears. I still have the state shifter, and this is what I talked about before, is the state components are SRAM compatible, which is really nice, and it allows me to upgrade the things I want to upgrade. So that's cool, and I'm just noticing now that this came loose, and I have a tool, so I should probably tighten that back on there. I will do that. So, I like these shifters actually. The whole lever moves. SRAM shifter is just the inner arm moves. Here, I do the whole lever to click. I like this better than the SRAM shifters, believe it or not. And they seem to be pretty precise, and they shift nice. So I probably will be keeping these levers for a long time, at least unless they fail or something. So yeah, there we go. I'm gonna get back on my ride. So why everything looks kind of messy is right at the beginning of my ride, we had a storm cloud come through. It started hailing on me, and then it downpoured after that, and it was really short, so I didn't get super wet from the downpour. I just stood under a tree for like 2 minutes, and I stayed pretty dry. Where I got more messy is the ground was then all wet, and it's springtime, so all these little, you know, plant pieces are all over the place, and now I'm realizing they're just stuck to me and everything. So I'm gonna go fix the little thing I just noticed came loose. I do have a tool with me. Make sure that's tight. You can see some of the crud stuck under here. Oh yeah, down there. And then I'm gonna get back on my ride. I'm really loving this bike. I would say the components are pretty good for the average rider that buys one of these and just wants to leave it as is. They'll be fine. They'll be able to ride many, many, many enjoyable miles on it. But for me, I tend to like the little bit higher end, more crisper shifting, things like that. All right, let's get to my ride. Okay, there's some ducks. This is why it's fun to ride along the creek there. So here, the creek is right next to the bike trail. It's pretty cool. And it just winds around, and the bike trail meets up with it here and there. This bridge up ahead, it's actually a major highway, Highway 35W. You can see how wide it is. There's the creek. It's kind of crazy. Nice and peaceful down here. Cray cray society up there driving their cars. So this part's kind of cool. It's pretty new. You used to have to always climb and then cross at that light up there, but they built this thing, and so now we go underneath and we don't have to cross at the light, nor do we have to climb steep hill. Hey, airplanes. Must be a school group or interesting. Yeah, after school group or something. Who knows? It was cool. So the reason why there's airplanes in my videos all the time is because the airport is right over there, and where I live is almost underneath the what do you call it? The traffic lane, air traffic lane. I don't know. I'm not a pilot, but yeah, we're right under the road. Not fully under it, but pretty close. So I'm really liking this bike. It rides really smooth. Like this kind of ride, oh, the creek's beautiful, is like so perfect for this bike. And it's not a super lightweight racing bike, but it's easy to pedal. Like, it goes and it's fast, so you don't really need this crazy lightweight machine with extremely skinny tires. That's actually the thing I probably like the most about this bike. I have these larger tires on here and I'm running 45 psi, and it makes for such a more comfortable ride, and I can still comfortably cruise at like 18 miles per hour, even 20 sometimes, but holding 20 is really tough. I'm sure on a lightweight racing bike with, you know, a lower stack height, so you're more aerodynamic, high airplane. You'd definitely be able to hold a faster pace for longer, but you're not as comfortable, so you kind of sacrifice comfort for speed in that situation. What I like about this bike is you get both. You get some pretty good speed and a lot of comfort. You know, we like to call it party pace. I like to go maybe a little faster than party pace most of the time, but you know, I'm not like trying to break any records. I'm not constantly pushing myself as fast as I can go, right? And this bike is perfect. Like, I don't know, I'm super stoked about it still. And usually, like, if I get stoked about something, it sometimes wears off. This bike is not worn off on me yet. I really like it, and I'm slowly upgrading it. Wider bars, better shifting, and someday I may just decide to upgrade the frame. And then you have the people that are actually kind and they pay attention. And another airplane. And so now, like, when I'm at the lake, I take it back a couple notches. What am I going? 14 miles per hour. It doesn't feel like I'm going 14, but I am. And this is a nice, steady, comfortable cruising pace. For the lakes, you don't really want to go a lot faster than this anyway, because there's just a lot of people here and there. and they do say the speed limit's 10 miles per hour. It's pretty tough to go 10 miles per hour on a bicycle. You'd have to really be chilling out. I wish they would bump it up to like 15 and something like that, make it more realistic. But yeah, it's just a nice bike to cruise on like this. And you know, I'm almost at 16 miles on this ride, and I'm not like feeling sore, I'm not tired, I'm not worn out by or beat up by the bike. So super sweet. Now I'm at Minneapolis, and you can see the city right there. Downtown Minneapolis. Pretty sweet. On your left. Yeah, that's cool. Not many people hanging out here. There's actually, we got dumped on with some rain and then it got nice again. So I think people that would normally be hanging out here are not here, except for the geese. But yeah, this is a sweet sight. All right, I finally made it home. Got my state all road. I think I did about 27 miles. That was a blast. 27 miles on that bike, piece of cake. Super casual. It was awesome. Time to go eat. I'm starving. I really appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.